Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. Today we're going to be working on this week's A Cherry on Top sketch challenge. This is what the sketch looks like. Very pretty. And we'll just get started working on it. Remember, I'm using two different collections left over from my summer kit. The Little Things by Simple Stories and from Echo Park, Bees and Blossoms, I believe is what it's called. So I had initially said that from the Bees and Blossom, I'm probably going to get rid of some of it because it's not my style. And I've already played with it a lot. So I really didn't feel like I needed to keep it in my inventory. These are the papers that I'm going to part ways with. And I had them sitting in a container sideways, and they've got a little bent, but that can straighten out easily. So those three I'm going to let go. The rest I'm going to put with my Echo Park manufacturer collection, and as well with the rest of my whatever I have left over from Simple Stories. So I think I'm going to be playing with this one. And I've gone ahead and started my foundation. Now, if you'll see this stitch, I love it. I think it is so cute. And I've created, so this pattern paper came from Simple Stories, as does this one. I'm actually not using anything from Echo Park on this one. And these are the papers that I'm keeping from the Echo Park collection. There's three. I have my sticker sheets that I'm able to play with for this layout. So I'll lay those down here and get those ready. So those are from the Echo Park, and this little book is from Simple Stories. So I have quite a bit to play with, and I have scraps that I can bring in. So let's get all of this out of the way. So there's some layering happening around the photo mats. And then the title is up here in the top, kind of top middle right side. And then embellishments around it. So I'm going to cut my mats out of this paper. The photos are 3.5 by 4.5, so I'm going to go to 3.75 by 4.75. Now I'm going to cut a 3.75, and that will be my first mat. The second is a 3 by 4, so I'm going to do a 3.25 by 4.25. And I'm going to grab a leftover piece of white cardstock and make mats for these photos. I think I know what photos I want to play with. Let's go ahead and let me pause, and I'll print my photos and be right back. Okay, I have my photos, and they are actually larger than the sketch called for, because my produce and my basil, my flowers, I couldn't get it all in, so I just went ahead and left it a larger photo. And then this photo, I made it smaller. That's beside the point. Nobody really cares about that. Let's get back to the sketch. Okay. So, looking here, we've got some layering on this side and up here, kind of like a tab, different little pieces that we can kind of layer and pull in. And I thought that I would bring in some of my scraps and just see if they will work. Now that is a possibility. I put them behind me. So I can definitely use, I like that green. I can definitely use some of these tags. I'm not fond of that one. Maybe the wood grain. The black could work as well. We'll put that there. We have the red polka dot. And we have this green floral. We'll try that out. And then we have this really, really pale pink. We have a banner piece here. And we have these bits and pieces that could possibly work. That may be appropriate since we were at the farmer's market. Have some floral bits there. And then we'll go through, is that the same one? No, it's not. And we're going to go through our stickers to see what we can create. Okay. I'm going to say no to all of this right off of the bat. And this is cluttering my workspace at the moment, so let's put it behind me and hopefully remember that it's behind me. I talked to you all a lot about scale, and as I'm looking at these two options, the scale in this is smaller than this one, and I prefer that. So I'm going to use this one. So let's get this trimmed up and our hole punched. And I think I'm going to layer this in such a way that this is going to show behind it, because that's something that they're showing it down the side. So we're going to do that same thing. And they have a rectangular piece coming off to this behind it to the side. And I'm not loving that because it takes away from the green here. So we're going to play with that idea. And next we have, so they have words up here, but the title is actually down at the bottom. And I am going to play if I can find it, what I do with it. Oh, here it is. With this as my title. And having the fruit around it is appropriate. I normally would not use it, but it's appropriate this time because we were at a farmer's market, and I think that's completely appropriate. So let me start adhering some things down, and we will continue creating and layering. I'm going to adhere not right to the edge because I want the ability to continue to layer. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm going to nestle that in that space. I'm using this up. Plain and simple, I'm using it up. I don't want leftovers. So this butterfly is going to go somewhere, and I think I'll use it off to this side. But we're going to hold off on that for just a second. So we have this large piece, and we have these lemons here, and another butterfly. I don't think I will use the jar, even though she did bring me some flowers in a jar. Oh, let me reconsider, because that is definitely part of the story. These sunflowers here, she brought those, she gifted those to me from her garden. And let's see. What if we tuck it? This floral arrangement under here. And we're going to place this fella over here. I don't love that. So that would let me raise this up here a little more. I like that better. I like the separation. And let me see. Could use this cluster over here. I think these are supposed to be hanging this way. We're going to place these up here. Instead of having the wordy bits, and then he can be on that, we have our 3 clusters, and we're going to call that almost finished. Almost, because we're going to try to get some of these enamel dots. We're going to try. I think we can do it. Okay, my foam stickers are done. So I'm happy about that. I have used them all up. And now just to consider where to place some enamel dots. We'll place one here. And I don't think they'll show up if I use this color in these flowers. So what I think I'm going to do, because this blue is being introduced for the first time, I'm going to use blue enamel dots in these flowers. And that will include that color in another location on this page. And now I feel like I've done something grand by getting these enamel dots on a page. Okay, we are going to call this one done, and that completes 3 of the challenges for the month of August. Look at that. We did it. Okay, I don't know that I will get to play in September. We've got a lot going on. Once again, a lot going on. That's the story of my life, right? But we'll see. We'll see if I'm able to manage to slip some in. Come back, and we will chat again soon. Bye-bye.